You're getting into luxury, do not assume all luxury is looking like luxury. And all sellers are of a luxury caliber. That's a lesson. I just had one of the most interesting showings of my career, and this is year 15. And I have to brain dump this for memory purposes. Also to get this, just unload this feeling, say a good prayer after it. I just feel kind of yucky after this showing. And I know you shouldn't judge. I don't know what to say. What is it? We listen and we don't judge. I know we look and we don't judge. What am I gonna say? This is my opinion of what I saw going through the house. Okay, this is my opinion. These are my opinions. This is what I gathered from going through the house. This is what I surmised. It is what it is. Like, this is what it gave. This is what it gave. This is my industry opinion. We won't call it judging. This is my industry opinion. You will not believe that this property was $1.4 million. My gosh, there is never a dull moment in real estate, and you are always learning something. Never in my wildest dreams did I prepare for this, the experience that I had today. So let me get into it. Let me go ahead and show you a picture of what this property looked like. I done printed out the MLS listing, and I didn't print it out in black and white because at my office, I printed it out in my office. You pay for it. I printed it out in color. And I printed out 2 copies, one for the buyer. I still have the second copy. This is a picture of the house. The pictures made us think that we were going into a polished, move-in ready home. That was not not it, and we could tell from the door. There are a couple of lessons here. One, don't be this listing agent, because I would have appreciated a heads up. FYI, this house has a lot of deferred maintenance. It needs a little bit of TLC. When I tell you she wrote the most stellar property description, she wrote it with the assistance of ChatGPT or however the case. She wrote this lengthy description, and she even has here, she has 40 years of experience and the last 24 years selling in this lake community. So everything about this was giving me polished and ready. This is a 7-bedroom, 7.5 bathroom home, 9,430 square feet, a little over an acre of land. We just knew that this was so much the one that one of my buyers came in town. They booked a flight, came in town yesterday, got a hotel, met me out there because we just knew they were moving on this property. I am kicking myself because I'm like, I should have came and previewed this house. But never in my wildest mind or my wildest dreams did I expect that I would have encountered this in a 1.4 million price point home. And then in the area that it was in, learning lesson for those that want to get into luxury, because this is not my standard price point. And I've shown homes. This is not the first time going out with them. We've seen homes in this price point. We've just never encountered anything like this. The other just lesson and takeaway I'll throw out there, like, money don't give you class. Money don't give you the knowledge and the know-how. One thing we encounter off rip walking up, and I'm going to include some footage because I was taking video for the other buyer that didn't come in town. Deferred maintenance. Like, forget deferred maintenance. You ain't even try. Like, the cobwebs from the outset, like, you could see you ain't even really clean good on the outside. Like, you ain't even like try to impress, right, on the outside. Then the deferred maintenance, I could tell the front porch, it's not leveled. I can tell there's like water has been sitting. I was just going in, and mind you, before we got in, we were outside greeting each other, and a car comes around from the back. So I guess they waited till we got there and then they pulled out. Okay, cool. On the way out, I took this video. I said this should have been the warning sign. As I was driving up, I noticed there was a stick propping the gate open. That should have been my warning sign right there. This was my first sign, but I was rushing to get in the house. Why is the gate propped open with a stick? That should have been our warning sign. Okay, we go inside, or attempt to go inside. They have this grand black, double door. This key is not working for the door. And my wise buyer was like, what about these side doors over here? So I want to try the side door. Put that in the listing. Put that in here. Use door to the left or something. But okay, fine. We figured it out. Got inside the house. As soon as we stepped in the house, weed hits us. We look at each other because we just confirmed it to each other. Yeah, that's what we smell. The house smelled like weed. So the person that left, it was a male, a younger male. It was tinted. So I was like, so we just go smoke in the house before the showing and then leave. So immediately I start thinking, okay, this must be the owner's son. You just got, you know, daddy's money. You just living up in this house. This is where my mind first started going. Because I'm like, no seller of this luxury house is going to be in this house really smoking weed, right? So that's where my mind is going. So we're walking through. I see cobwebs on the steps. We can just see, the house was built in 2007. So it's not the newest house, but we can just see deferred maintenance. We go into the kitchen. The stove has 2 of the 5 knobs on there. The kitchen cabinets has paint missing. I can just tell the caliber of people that live in this house. I just assumed, and I texted the agent. I was like, is this owner occupied or do tenants live here? Because it was giving me, we're tenants. We are not taking care of this house. We just are residing here. That's what it was giving me. I was really disheartened to learn that no, it's the owners that are living there. The owners were keeping this house like that. So is it a issue of they're not educated? They don't know how to take care of a home. They don't understand about home maintenance and upkeep and what you need to do to keep a home up. So disheartened. Going through the house, even more disheartened, opening closets and just see it just looks like just crumbled up laundry just thrown in there. It just, the presentation, it was just giving me tenant. So this is before I found out this was actually the owner. I didn't find out it was the owner till the end. Was more disheartened to go into closets and see labels, name brand labels, shoes, the Jordans, to see a tricked out car in the garage, in a 3-car garage, to see all the things that look appealing on the outside, but your house is deteriorating and falling apart. And that's why I say money don't give people class. You may feel like I'm wrong about that, but that's money, not being educated. But you have enough money, you could have got educated. You could have, it just showed me your priorities are not where, well, I guess everybody could put their priorities where they want it to be, but the money that you're investing in these labels and these name brands and the visual stuff, you should be putting into your house so you can recoup this investment and really profit off of this house. Because who is paying you $1.4 million for this house? My gosh, we were ready to leave. We knew even before halfway through that this was not going to be it. This was not going to be it. I'm going to give the agent a lot of feedback. I initially asked her to meet us there because we just knew we were going to be ready to go, and if we had questions, and she's supposed to be the area expert and all this stuff. And it was supposed to be owner financing. If you put down 40%, that was one of the options. So apparently they have some money, right? Do they not know how they're supposed to be keeping up this house? And agent, when you went over there, did you not have this conversation with them? I know I'm not the first agent to say this house smells like weed. And remember, that happened to me. I had a listing and the house smelled like weed. This listing was $300,000 though, not 1.4 million. Wow, never a dull moment in real estate. I am truly kicking myself for not previewing it first. So lesson there, no matter what the price point is, before a client comes in town, I will be previewing the property, no matter what the price point is. The house was also giving discombobulation. It's not even a word. It was giving, not chaos, it was giving, what is going on here? Like the master suite had on this lock that you could put in a code. Like if this is my house and my domain and I'm comfortable and I live here, why is that on the door? It was also giving, like all of the rooms for the most part were occupied. It might have been giving, I have homeboys living here, or a family member, homeboys living here. Even in like the storage area, it just wasn't like nice and neatly, and what is going on in my brain right now? Nice and organized. It wasn't nice and neatly organized to say, okay, we're moving, let's put boxes together. It was just like, throw stuff here. It was just, but then in the office, you have like this chair, like I'm the king, I'm the throne. And this is where I set up into shot. It was just a lot. It was a lot, and then it wasn't. It was a lot, and then it wasn't. Maybe because I read into things, and I could see, yeah. I'm happy to be out of there. I can't wait to get agent feedback. I'm gonna say a good prayer. That house didn't feel like it had good juju in it. You know how you walk into a house and it feels like home, it feels warm, it feels comfy. Did not feel that. It did not, the layout, it just didn't feel like a good use of space and layout. One of the buyer that wasn't there, she was, on FaceTime at one point. She was like, it just feels like a square and just things are in the square. It just didn't feel good. You're getting a lot of space, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done. A lot of work. Will it sell? It'll sell. I don't know who paying $1.4 million for it though. I'll tell you that much. It's really disheartening. Really, I'm about to look up. I'm gonna look up how much they paid for that house. And shame on that agent. She's a vet. I say shame. She figures somebody gonna buy that house eventually. So I guess she don't really care. And it's been on the market. I'm gonna put, I don't have it printed on the sheet. I didn't print out the last part. I'm gonna put here how long it's been on the market. And then talking to her, because I confirmed, I was like, all right, the house is still available, right? I didn't want them coming in town. And then the house is not available. She's like, yeah, I have 2 showings earlier that day, and then yours. And then I saw somebody book for 4. Yeah, you probably getting a lot of showings because you pulling them in with these pictures, but the house is, I ain't gonna say trash, but the house is a letdown. Set the right expectations, man.
Yeah,
set
that
the right
should not be happening.
She did an excellent job
This
on marketing.
Is such
That's
a
what I'm
hazard.
gonna put. You did an excellent job on marketing this house, but it is a true letdown when you get inside. I'm gonna go back and say something else. Even in the kitchen, it was not giving a grown-up kitchen. They had like oodles and noodles. Not oodles and noodles, but they had like the ramen noodles, the Lowry's season. I use Lowry's, don't get me wrong. But it was not giving upper echelon of anything. It was giving, it was giving basic and bottle stuff. It was giving flashy on the outside, but the things of substance that you really see in luxury, I wasn't giving that at all. And I should have known from the seller's property disclosure. The last time the AC was serviced was 2022. Water heater was 2 years old. Okay, I'm gonna give you that. It probably went bad and they had to. Septic last time it was serviced was 2022. The roof was replaced in 2007 when the house was built. It's 2026. That's the other thing. Ceiling stains, several ceiling stains in several places. So we know they got water and, okay, I'm done. You get my point. Not a good showing. I hope you took the lessons away. Regardless, preview a property before a buyer comes into town. I feel so bad. Thankfully, my buyers are really gracious. She's going to check out some open houses and I feel so bad though. You're getting into luxury. Do not assume all luxury is looking like luxury. And all sellers are of a luxury caliber. That's a lesson. Don't trust the pictures that you see online, which I know that in regular, gosh, yes. The agent's job is to market it and get you there. That applies in luxury too. And then if you're on the listing side, go ahead and give people a heads up so it won't be such a letdown. And if you don't want to put it in the public remarks, at least put it in the private remarks so the agents know. At least do that. And one more thing, would I have taken this listing? Because my client asked me that. I don't know that I would have, because I've gone into a listing and it grossed me out. I had to step over dog poop. They had some like magic stuff on the board in there. It was just not giving me a vibe or anything that I wanted to be a part of. So yeah, I'm okay with not taking business. Even if I did take this listing, I would have had conversations with them. And if they were not realistic on price or what the property needed to look like to get it sold, then I would have been okay with not taking the listing. Because taking a $1.4 million listing just to say I took it and not being able to sell it, yeah, that's of no benefit. Anything else? I think that was it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching my TED Talk, because I need to talk myself down because I really did feel icky. Okay, I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna get this tour before I head to Publix to pick up this chicken for Super Bowl, because this is Super Bowl Sunday. And then they they traveled on Super Bowl Sunday weekend and their team is in the darn Super Bowl. So we really thought this was going to be the one. It's the nothing. All right. Check out the podcast. Check out the book, The Ugly Side of Real Estate for Agents. Please share the things that you go through, because I truly believe we do not have to go through the same experiences. We can learn from each other. That's why I share, whether you're in the office talking with agents, whether you're talking to an agent friend. Some agents don't have that. They don't have that camaraderie. They have those spaces. Maybe they're in an online brokerage and they don't get to meet up with agents, so they don't get to hear the stories being shared. That's why I'm sharing. So yes, please leave me a comment. Let me know this is useful in some way. Ooh, it was useful to me because I needed to get that off my chest. All right, check out another video and I will see you in my next one. Have a positive, peaceful, and productive day.